Our companions have continued their descent into the belly of the beast, passing across a treacherous bridge and a dreadful hole filled with a large mound of dwarf skulls desecrated from their sacred tomb. They peered through a crack in the wall and saw a dismal orc pit filled with dozens of orcs entranced in the middle of some sort of dreadful ritual. Looking for a place to rest, after having explored for long hours, our heroes discovered strange signs of a phosphorescent liquid left in a trail and somehow guiding them towards their destination. Red Dog heavily suspected Murky to be responsible for that, but why would Murky do that? Going ever downward through the endless fortress, the Fellowship entered a large underground avenue, high-ceilinged and traversed by numerous overarching bridges. This is when our heroes got ambushed by a cave troll and his goblin trainer. Ariel did quick work of the goblin, but the troll proved to be another matter. Without a torch at the ready, the company became quickly overwhelmed by the beast. Badly beaten, they tried to retreat after lighting a torch to scare the troll with fire, but it was too late. The heroes were spotted, the alarm was sounded, and the maddened troll managed to render Ariel unconscious and send Targon to the Twiland of the dying. Then, as Red Dog had finally managed to scare off the troll, successfully reanimated Ariel, and made sure that Targon would survive even if still unconscious, Crit, the goblin captain, appeared with his orc guard. But just as Crit ordered his soldier to attack, a sparkling bomb exploded, blinding everyone and leaving a veil of powdery smoke in the air. Then the shrill voice of Murky sounded and urged our heroes to flee. I will go a little bit into Ariel's trip while he's being unconscious right before Red Dog manages to wake him up with those strong sense of resin or whatnot. Ariel, you're having a trip. You're gone. You lost consciousness, and you're flying away. The world echoes from afar, as if it shrinks away like a point lost in immensity. This point drifts and begins to mingle with countless other points, stars, an infinity sky of countless stars. Now the reflections of those stars glimmer against the calm waves of an ocean. A citadel appears, perched on the dark silhouette of a peninsula, cast against the blood of a thunderous sunset hanging in the west. Large seabirds fly in spiral above the refuge of the dead. You are a song, about to join their chant. You are a desire longing for substance in a place to rest. You are drawn towards the gaping gates of this castle overlooking the shores. Then suddenly, a resinous smell, a scent of life, the memory of Middle-earth springs through your awareness, and you look back eastward. Songs of streams, sharp and crystalline, scents of flowers and hues of meadows, perfumes of the woods, and the smell of earth call you, draw you, and carry you back, flying across the ocean. As you draw nearer to the land, the glimpse of a black mountain appears, and a clatter of shouts and cries, the pain of the body. All sensations at once gather in your awareness in a pang, and you wake up. I will do another 2 little checks. Just how you do checks, not what do you do. Yeah. We'll first ask Alex, how is Ariel feeling right about this moment where he comes back?
Ariel is feeling overwhelmed. I mean, he he was knocking on the doors of death, and his friend Targon actually opened the doors of death and was about to jump in before being pulled away by Red Dog, right? So, the situation is dire, and it's hard to see a light at the end of the tunnel, which we kind of need, probably literally something like that. But yeah, so this is a really dire situation, and that was a single patrol, right, that we encountered by chance. It wasn't even the focused animosity of our enemies that caught us like that. It was a random encounter with a few of them, essentially. So it shows that we are probably a bit unprepared to be here. Yeah, so that's how a bit despondent. That's how he feels.
Okay. Red Dog, you've just managed to wake up, Ariel. You you tended to Targon and managed to have him breathe again. He has a terrible wound on the right side. Nearly half of his face is violet with internal bleeding. He's still unconscious but alive. The crit has made his apparition with his Orc-guard. The bomb exploded, sparkling everywhere. Everyone is blinded. And there is this multiplicity of information adding up. And you just received the confirmation that something happened. Targon made it back. How does Red Dog feels?
A bit incredulous by how, at least so far, lucky we have been, I suppose, and also maybe myself, seeing both my two companions falling under the blows of the troll, I suppose, and given that I am unscarfed, I'm a bit incredulous that I'm still up and in a sense hale so far, and I'm also a bit. I have a kind of probably a slightly incredulous but positive feeling by the fact that we are kind of being. If we are not dead yet, it means that somebody maybe is looking from up there at us. And maybe we still have some luck in our pockets. But I'm a bit incredulous, as I said, because I cannot really believe it completely, but I realize that there is still... if we are not dead yet, it means there is still hope.
Awesome. Thanks. Right. We'll do a little check on Targon now before I take the company somewhere else, because I suppose that just as we've talked at the end of the last session, you will bring Targon back on your back. The two of you will exit in a panic, making the best of the lightning bomb to escape and find a safe spot to recover. That's what we're good with that, yes?
Yeah, I think that was the plan.
Okay.
Because what other option do we have?
Yeah,
we literally have no option. It's either that or jump into the abyss or be killed by life.
Full of lava, we might just jump in it and spare us of everything.
All right. Let's go a little bit. I wrote something for Targon. Targon is sacked on the shoulder of Red Dog. You two with Ariel, you three are heading down this succession of corridors. You're in a panic. Ariel tried to hold the torch over the map, looking for a sensible direction to go, and you're fleeing. And meanwhile, Targon is hanging on Red Dog's shoulder, and he's having a trip. He's having quite a trip. Targon, you fall. You are falling, but upward at tremendous speed. You're falling upward toward a flat surface, clean as a mirror. You see your own reflection closing in on you. And as you burst through this mirror, it shatters into and you penetrate the depths of a dark ocean. Slowly, you drown, and finally succumb to the water entering your lungs, and your body expels its last breath. But you are still conscious. You see the air bubbles suspended in the water, going neither way. They just hang in there around you. You see memories of your past in those bubbles. Little movies playing key moments of your lives. You drift in the immensity. The bubbles slowly recede in the distance and progressively disappear in the darkness. But other shapes appear and draw near you. You eventually find yourself surrounded by dead spirits of countless drowned Numenorians who are begging for your help. Take us with you. Take us, please take us. Bring us back. Suddenly a light shines beyond the surface above. A blue and white shimmering light, spreading its rays across the darkness. You swim up, away from the ghosts, and as you pierce the surface of the water, you find yourself thrown out of your body, out of your physical body, and you are now looking at the actual scene where the fight in Mount Graham took place, right after you were rendered unconscious. You are a ghost, now a shade of yourself, made of mist. You look at your hands, they look pale and transparent. It feels cold. Sound and perspectives all appear wrong and distorted. A succession of throbbing flashes and visions, shouts and clatter. You see Red Dog busy, reanimating Ariel. You see orc boots running across the bridges, the teeth of Crit the Goblin glimmering with saliva, the shape of a lurker, its white skin, its sharp ears, its weird expression in the corner of its mouth. Then nothing. A sudden blast, an explosion. Sparks everywhere, reflected in human eyes. The muttered voice of Red Dog. Darkness, absence, and void. Now the company manages to escape, unseen after the explosion. Red Dog and Ariel urgently find some kind of litter conduit and squeezing their body through it like rats. You go down and ram down like Star Wars style, and you go down those conduits, and finally you find yourself falling into some kind of sewer room filled with water up to the knee. Small room. It's 3 by 4 possibly. And at the other end, there's a stone ledge that allows you to rest out of the water. There's only like 30 centimeters of water, and the stone ledge is right in front of you. And the stone ledge is by a wall, and this wall offers a small tunnel. There is an exit that goes out of this place. Small tunnel, very low, meter high possibly. The sounds of horns and pursuing boots is withering down, and it's finally silence again. And Targon awakes. How do you feel, Targon?
I feel like I'm dead. I remember being dead and seeing myself as a spirit, and like I feel frozen, disoriented. And one of the first memories is of my father and brother dying. And then I look, I try to open my eyes, but I cannot see from one side, from one eye, from one side of my face.
Yeah, the troll, you were on the left side of Ariel, and the troll hit you both like that. So you receive a punch on your right temple. And possibly talk about Targon's stigma. Yeah, because when you come back from dying, the game states that you have to find yourself some kind of stigma. My proposition for you, Jordi, would be that from now on, Targon would he didn't lose an eye. He'll be able to open after a while his right eye, but this part of the face will be purple. Could be purple. If you can come up with another stigma that's more interesting to you, you're very welcome to do so. But I thought it nice, like to I don't know. I thought this is kind of scary, and as well, I don't know, like that the skin is tainted violet. That's a proposition. That's what I had, that I came to me. I imagine. I don't know what you guys could propose. Propose Jordi, or if Jordi, we have to come up with something now.
Is it because of a scar, of a shadow scar?
This is physical. This is
it's just that when you come back, when you get two wounds that then are healed, you're supposed to be left with some permanent.
Yeah.
I see.
When you come back from the dying condition, yeah. You've been revived after being dying, as the game says. You gotta pick some form of stigma, which doesn't mean anything mechanically for the game. It's flavor, yeah.
You can pick up a badass scar.
Yeah, I know that it's more like typical, but I think it's typical for something because it looks kind of cool. A badass scar crossing your right side close to the eye, split eyebrow.
Yeah. Okay. For now, it's still very. It's like clogged blood. Your eye is just like boxer fucking punch. You know, you look like a fucking troll, right? You know. But when it settles down and heals, and in a while, you know, it's gonna go. Yeah, you had basically a broken skull and a split open eyebrow. Yeah. And possibly his clothes, you know, went in like zack, you know.
That's kind of cool. You know, like
Yeah.
more than a split skull, because I think with the medical technology we have, a split skull is like, no.
Come on, he's a human Dan.
You're not coming back from this.
All right. Now I can ask you, what do you get to? Off you go.
I lay there. I mean, I lay there.
But you came back, right? You just woke up.
He just woke up. He just had the most pleasing dream.
If I notice he's awake, I guess he will do. But I wave a hand in front of his eyes just to see if he's reacting.
And I, at the same time, I'm looking around. I want to know the person or the thing that called to us at that moment, right? Is there any sign of? I'm sorry, I keep forgetting his name. The person who said Murky. Yeah. Is there any sign of him?
For now, the room
Around?
is a meter 70 high, slightly vaulted, like a 15-degree vault, 3x4, and this 1 meter high archway that goes into from what you can see with your torch going in there. It goes 1 meter deep. In a tunnel 1 meter deep into another room.
Okay, well, as far away from those orcs as we can. I think that's an easy decision, right?
It's very silent now. There's no more horns sounding, no more boots tramping.
So just someone threw a grenade on them, told us to leave, and then they are nowhere near. That there's no sign of anyone.
No.
Why would anyone here help us?
Well, I guess I know. We understood it was Merc.
Sure. But still, he seems to be a sort of an outsider, maybe an outcast with some strange abilities, but still the question stands. Why would they, or would he or it help us?
Well, I guess unless we ask him, we'll never know, probably. But if he really is as old as the mountain, and if he is the mountain, he might be related to dwarves, or even older than dwarves. So maybe obviously he lives with the orcs because orcs are here now, but maybe.
So I guess do we continue? I mean,
I guess at the moment we are quite in a bad shape. I suppose we cannot really. Can we? We need some rest. Won't we?
We need some rest. We need to, because I am almost. If I fall or slip and fall, I'll probably go back to unconsciousness right now because I'm in really bad shape.
The best thing you can do now is take a prolonged rest. So spend the next 6 hours. I could even allow for a 12-hour, so the double prolonged rest. and have Ariel and Red Dog go back to full, and Targon take. How much do you have in strength, Targon? 6 or 5?
5.
5. So with the double prolonged rest, that would be Targon back to 10.
To 11, right? I think he has 1, or he would not be awake.
Yeah, right now the both of you are at 1 endurance.
Yeah, so he would go to 11.
Correct. Absolutely.
I would go to full, is that right?
Yeah, because you're not wounded. But
okay.
Targon would recover only his endurance, a strength point of endurance.
So we need to recover. We are, if we meet even a single orc right now in our state, we would probably not survive the encounter. We only survived the encounter because something or someone here helped us. So I suggest, my friends, that this seems to be a safe place, and we rest here and recover our strength.
Yes. I am not in a position to say much. But yeah, I mean, if the choice is between resting or anything else, I vote rest.
As long as we are sure that we escaped them, so if there are no noises of a pursuit or something, then I think resting is what we have to do now.
You can estimate that you slid this conduit for possibly 20 meters, steeply down. So you're possibly 1 or 2 level below where you had the last encounter.
Couldn't they just
resting.
follow us along the same conduit? Our pursuers.
Now, after that fateful fight, I used up like half of my hope. I have just 6 hope right now. I don't know about the rest of you. I started this with 10. I have now 6 hope.
Yeah, it's time now for a little tapping into fellowship points, now that you can do so because of taking a rest. But if we could to explore a fellowship as an, the fourth character, sort of. How is the fellowship now role playing? It's coming together, motivating each other. What's the personality of the fellowship? How is this identity growing in between you?
I don't understand the question. What do you mean, the personality of the fellowship?
What kind of buddies are you, guys? What is making the fellowship, a community? What is the personality of you all? What links you? Is there a sense of joking together that brings you back? Is there a sense of talking old stories that brings you back? Or do you like to meditate, the three of you, in silence? Like this kind of, like, what is the personality of your company? And what puts you back together? What makes you hold? What's the glue?
We are
Well,
sharing a common danger and a common goal, right? Sorry,
I guess I'm not very talkative, but a suggestion could be that as a character I would be, well, as a Red Dog, I'm probably fascinated when Ariel spins his tales about the wonders of the ancient world, of which I know basically nothing. So I could imagine that in some moments of fellowship he he starts talking about, like, maybe just talking about the mountain we are in, and he spins some tales about the dwarves of old, and I would listen. I'm not probably as a character super talkative, so I guess. What did
Since we found the key to Moria, then I would tell you stories about the glory days of Khazad-dûm and Moria. And I think
So I guess
that's
while
what
you
would be on
speak,
my mind, right?
I'm tending Targon's wounds. I guess Targon rests, breathes.
Targon feels a great sense of gratitude, because in the worst possible moment, these two literally dragged him from death. So, there is this sense of gratitude, and also of great respect in one side for all the lore that Ariel has, and for the stout heart and hope in Rakdog's actions, his ability to forgive. So, yeah, I have great respect for my two comrades, for different reasons, for each of them.
I love it. Thank you. That's awesome. Could see them, spending those 12 hours, just between moments of silence, just walking around, just, telling stories, listening to each other. I was there.
I asked one thing of my companions during these hours, that if any of them can just grab my hand or simply touch me, because I don't want to feel again like I'm a shadow, a dead shadow. I want to have some connection to something that is physical and alive. I'm afraid I'm vulnerable at this moment.
Do you say that? Do you say that out loud, that you don't want to be a shadow?
Yes. I
would.
felt like I was dead, and I want to have some connection to something alive beyond myself. Like I'm afraid of sleeping and drifting again into death.
But you don't describe your dream. That's what I mean. You don't describe, this is what I dreamt.
It's too painful to talk too much with my face, and also describing it. It's like I still haven't processed it in my mind. It's too soon. But just the feeling of drifting into death. It's
So I have a couple of questions about the. I'm not sure if elves, do they sleep in the normal meaning of the word?
From what I've heard,
I thought that they go into some sort of trance.
Yeah. I think they don't properly lose. They're not so deep into sleep like we do. They probably
so my
go
question
into
then,
some kind of standby state. Yeah.
Do they dream normally? Do they dream every night, or are these dreams that I'm having something very unusual for me, or is it something like a normal human will just say those are dreams, and we have those every night, even when we don't remember them? What about Elf? What about my character? Because if it is something very different, then I would mention this to the others. If not, then I wouldn't. That's my question.
Your last trip, your last vision, your last dream, while you were unconscious, was very, very, very much different. It was very, very real. It wasn't like a vision of the past or a memory or something symbolic. You felt like you were actually traveling to Mandos's, hole.
So So then I shared this with others. I say this is the second time this happens, and I'm unaware if you know this, but our kind, the elder, we do not have what humans usually call dreams because our sleep is very different. We don't really sleep like you do. But it's the second time now that I have what I can only describe as a dream or a vision while in this place of a place by the sea, right? A place with stars and a citadel, the house of Mandos, where the souls of the elder go. Is that right? Am I not mixing up the gods, right? Where the souls of the elder go after they die, possibly to inhabit uh, another body later on. I don't know what the significance of this is, but there is a significance to it. These are not fortuitous events. We are not being taken by the by just chance. There is something more at work here. I feel because I had never had this sort of vision or dream before. Have any of you have? Are almost like visions. They feel very real.
I've had a dream, but I'm not sure if I would say that it's been the same as yours. Possibly. I don't want to think about it now. But who is this Mandos that you're talking about? That
Oh,
he gathered your
Mandos
soul?
is one of the Valar, one of
Is
the
he like a demon?
no, he's one of the great Valar, the first spirits of creation created by Ilúvatar at the dawn of time to hold sway over the earth. They created or planted most of the first trees, the first life. They are basically guardians uh, of the world, and each has their own task, their own area of influence. And Mandos takes care of the dead souls of the Eldar, but the souls of humans are beyond his reach. The souls of humans have a fate that is unknown even to the Valar. It's one of the gifts of Ilúvatar. Death itself was the greatest gift of Ilúvatar to humans that took them. It allowed at least some humans to escape the song of creation that guides every other thing on this world, but not humans. They can escape the chains of fate. At least that's how I think. If I remember
It's an interesting point of view, Elder. Some wise people amongst the tribe of mine consider the mortality of man a curse rather than a gift. Well, I don't know.
that is
I'm too
to a
young.
great part.
I'm too young
Yeah.
to know the truth.
The great enemy Morgoth, one of the worst things he ever did was to instill into humans the idea that death was wrong, bad, or unnatural. That led to many calamities in Middle Earth and beyond. But it is indeed a gift. It's a gift.
You are speaking of death.
Yeah.
You thought that Turgon was sleeping, and he says like, in my dream, the spirits of dead men asked me to take them with me, to take them back. If death is a gift, it is not a gift that everybody partakes of.
Indeed, there are some humans who do not walk into the path meant by Ilúvatar. They prefer to stay on this earth. Those are, there are specters, there are undead creatures that refuse the gift and have been sometimes corrupted by the dark powers that to deny them from the gift of Iluvatar. They become things that should not have been, that are still walking the earth when they should have gone beyond by now. I mean, this is also a great crime by the first great enemy is to create things like that. And some of his greatest disciples and warriors are former humans who were enthralled by his promises and forsook the gift of Iluvatar.
The necromancer, the evil who used to be in Dol Guldur.
Yes.
He said, my grandfather always told me that he had the power over the dead. But he's gone now, or at least so they said. Even though the shadow still lurks on the edges of Mir.
Yes. Do I know about the ring wraiths? Does my character know? I think so, right? Must. Not that they are ring wraiths, but that they were the 9, right? The 9 people that got the ring. That was.
Yeah.
So I tell them that
it's
9, 7, and 3.
It's a known poem, right?
Yeah.
The one about the ring.
Red Dog. I don't know if Red Dog heard of the
No.
Nazgul.
No, I suppose not. Well, I guess in my knowledge it would be a bit mixed. Like the necromancer, I don't know if he's a man, if he's something else.
So I mean, since you have 12 hours,
he's
right?
a boogeyman, or I suppose.
Since you have 12 hours, which is basically the running time of the 3 movies put together.
I suppose.
I would tell them the story of the 9 and the of the fall of Numenor and then the 9 and so. But no, I think the fall of Numenor is a bit outsider.
Radagast is has a lot of relationship with the man of the man of the forest, and he probably would have explained something about that at least to the elders. Right?
I don't think he scares children
as far as I know, Radagast is mostly concerned with, and I'm speaking as a player, not as a player, sorry, as the character. I don't know much of the wise man, or the wise Radagast, let's say, but I know my grandfather spoke to him once or twice. He seemed to be mostly concerned with animals of the earth and the sky. But he didn't tell much about.
Okay. No, because I thought Radagast was like settled in Rosgovel actually to keep watch on Dol Guldur, but I could be wrong.
But he might not share that with the people living there.
It's not as great.
Anyway,
just as a note for you players, it's now year 2965, okay? But in year 2951, 14 years ago, the Dark Lord Sauron unveils his presence in the Darkland of Mordor.
Yeah, but unveils to that's not common knowledge yet. I think it takes longer for everybody. I mean,
in Minas Tirith they do know.
That's true. Yeah, no, I that's true.
Yes, in the woods, probably Mirkwood, at least. Us, a simple woodman, probably most of us don't know, but maybe the Numenorians might know. Maybe
we know that there is a shadow that there is.
I guess Elrond knows.
Yeah.
Possibly.
But you have been in Rivendell too, Red Dog, right? Or yes, we all have been in Rivendell, so
yeah,
I guess.
But would they explain to us the whole story, etc.? It's not obvious that these kind of things will be shared to the first We are just Anyway, so I tell everyone the story of the great corruption of the 9, greedy men by the rings of power created by Sauron, and how they became yet another example of people who refuse the gift, right? And that's how I typically
how to make a companion feel hopeful when he's at the age of 10.
No, I'm saying this. I'm saying this
my
because
dear friend.
I'm saying this because this is yes, death is scary, but it is in the end a gift. It's not a gift you have to receive today, Argon.
You are so wise, but your bedside manners suck.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but they suck.
I think it's a good point for you to take your point of hopes back from your fellowship pool. 4 points to share between the three of you.
Let's see the hope of everyone here. Let me have a look.
We are at.
It's a long list. I can't find very quickly.
So that would be.
Yeah.
1 point each plus 1 point for Ariel or Red Dog, or possibly Targon because he possibly needed the most at the moment.
No, don't worry, because I think Ariel said that he was at 6. So
I'm at 6. Yes.
I'm at 4.
Yeah.
At
what?
What?
No, you are at
4.
According to the table that I'm looking at here, you are at 6, right? Oh, 4. Wait.
4.
4.
From what I see, I'm at 4.
No, I think you are looking at the wrong number.
Where do you see hope?
Look at your character sheet. It's in the.
And
it's
I
in
have
the middle.
4.
Yeah, you have.
I don't see what is hope listed in the list where you have all the 3 players.
It doesn't seem to be listed as far as I think.
In the.
Is it wits, heart, or strength? Let me.
In the synthesis, it's not listed because it's a fluid stat. So I don't think it's.
If you have 4, then you should get your point of hope.
Yes, I'm at 9.
I've just linked
out of 11, so grab all of them for you guys.
You are at 4.
You have this moral.
Red Dog.
Yeah, Red Dog take 2, and Ariel 1, and Targon 1. All right.
No. I am at 9 out of 11. I don't need 1.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
okay,
then
so both of you, Ariel and Red Dog, you share.
Red Dog, you should take 3, and I'll take 1. Then that will bring us both to 7. Right?
Okay, that's fine with me. Thanks. Let me write.
Fine, because if you are at 4, you're about to the shadow is about to catch up with you. That would be really bad.
Yeah, because we at least I have 2 temporary shadow points, so probably you should have those 2, right?
I have 3.
I have 3. Well, I have 3.
So if you are at 4 hope and 3 shadow, you are about to.
Yeah. No. You take 3. 7 is not still not very good, but still better than.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. That's a fellowship phase, like we want.
So what happens when shadow overcomes hope?
Say again.
What happens once shadow overcomes hope?
Alors, shadow can reach up to your current hope.
Mm-hmm.
When it reaches your current hope, you become miserable.
Okay.
Meaning that all your Eyes of Sauron count as an automatic failure. For 1. But as when your shadow reaches your maximum hope, then you are miserable. All your rolls are ill-favored. So you roll twice. You roll 2 12-sided die. You pick the worst one on every roll.
Yep.
And So for as long as you don't become mad, have a bout of madness, and expel it through some kind of mad, very weird, possibly dark, you have a crisis.
Mhm.
And then as you have your bout of madness, your points of shadow go back to 0.
Mhm.
And you go up 1 level on your shadow path. You have another alternative. So on your shadow path you have 4 levels or 5, and you become more and more despicable yourself and with others. You have there's a little tweak to all that, is that at any point you can trade all your points of temporary shadow, for a shadow scar, which is a permanent point of shadow. Voilà, that's everything.
And
I would
is
say
there
welcome
any way
to
to get rid of temporary shadow points? Is it during the fellowship phase?
Yes, exactly. During the fellowship phase, you can recover up to from 1 to 3 points of shadows, depending on your good deeds.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to be somewhere where people like us and are not trying to kill us, and where we can rest a little bit.
Yeah. little.
Makes sense. Okay.
Okay. I'm guessing through this time, you had those chats, you had those exchanges, those telling of possibly the darkest tales, possibly imaginable. Putting yourself together, telling yourself
Hold of
scary stories.
Argon's shoulder or arm as he asked for some physical contact while
Yes.
he's down.
Actually,
At a certain point, as I am the elfier one, I will do some watch or exploration just around to make sure that we are on the safe side. So I will leave Ariel to rest and have a look at. Keep watch
we
over
have
time.
been resting for a whole day. Actually, my shoulder is now healed. Now I only have my face that is completely broken.
Yes, so your Targon's injury went up 10 days, minus 1 day.
9 days.
There you go. Okay. Who goes? Well, I guess doesn't matter now. You more or less, you stretch. You kind of shake up. You somehow get yourself ready. It takes a while for the fellowship to realize that you cannot stay there forever. There's a mission to complete, and possibly a life to live after that. And also, and first and foremost, a room next door. So
No, we would have at least looked at the room, looked to see if it was safe before we started telling stories. So
so you enter this there's this 1 meter long tunnel that just exits right away into a very similar room without water at its bottom. Just a regular cubic room with yet another small tunnel exiting on the opposite side from you as you enter. And on either side, to the right of you, you can see two skeletons, the remains of 2 beings, and to the wall opposite them, a third skeleton. They are human size, the 3 of them. slender as humans or elves. No orc, no hobbit, no dwarf. Either elf or human. The two to the right and the one to the left, all of them are sort of crumbled, but still like sort of like with what remains of garment they had or clothing. They sort of lean on the walls, as if they were having a long rest, very long rest. Most of their garments have been consumed by vermin. There are weapons there, daggers and short swords. And one of them is the skeleton hand is clasped on a rotten the rotten twig of a bow, what used to be a bow. All their weapons are rusty, and what's left of their equipment is totally rotten and rusty, gone. But something straight jumps at you guys. You can see that 2 items there have been left as good as new. Something fresh about them has maintained them in their original state. The skeleton holding the rotten bow has a set of boots, slim boots. Those boots are gone. They look very slim and elongated, long and slender feet, holding a bow. But there is a belt. There is a leather belt, studded leather belt, that still hangs on the hips of this bone structure, and it's well, of course there is cobwebs. There is, it's dusty, but it's not rotten. It's not it wasn't eaten, gnawed at by vermin. It looks in perfect condition. There is this object, and on the opposite side, there is this. The skeleton is holding a very rusty axe and used, gone, rotten big boots, large boots, big taller guy, yeah, big wide feet, yeah, and at his wrist. The skeleton is there. At the wrist of the skeleton, there is a gold bracelet in the shape of a 2-headed serpent. That goes like that, and the two serpents are facing each other.
Do I know? Is there any particular meaning to a 2-headed serpent?
Let's have you do a lore.
I should be good at that, but I'll hold my tongue.
I'd like Red Dog to do the same, please.
Yep.
That. You've heard that in the east, at least east of the Misty Mountain, some healers use this symbol to conjure, healing spirits.
And is it associated to the shadow, to evil things, or is it just
this double-headed? This double-headed serpent snake is actually an old god. Some kind of old healing nature associated to Yavanna, possibly some kind of Maya associated to Yavanna.
So I tell everybody that's a healing a symbol involved in healing, or by a healing spirit or god, possibly associated to another of the Valar, Yavanna.
Red Dog, make a lore test as you inspect the studded leather belt. Another test, please. Another lore test.
Sorry, I was on mute. I'm saying
no.
I have no lore. So is it a plain lore test?
A plain, a plain. It
No
will work.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you need to. You could roll a Gandalf, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
Also,
But I suppose if I had some particular related knowledge, I might have had some extra dice.
There are some. There are bolts rifted in the leather. And as well 3 insignias, like representing some kind of like a multi-branch star. It kind of rings a bell. You saw that somewhere, you're pretty sure, but you can't remember where.
Does the bell stir any memories for me? For Ariel?
I do have folk lore. I don't know if that is... I'm a messenger. I've been many places. I don't have a deep knowledge of anything, but I know a bit of many cultures. I don't know if that could be useful.
No, but that's right. But you're a traveler, and not only that, you meet other travelers. So you could possibly have heard some information coming your way. So roll lore twice. Once for the bracelet, once for the belt.
I mean, okay, I'm wary, so there it goes. Okay, that's for the bracelet, not very good. And that's for the belt.
The same. You can say that. Yes, you possibly heard someone talking about stories, legends of double-headed snakes past on the other side of the Misty Mountains. That rings a bell, but now your head aches. You're not in the condition to go with the spoon into your brain, try to fish for the actual memory. Who told you that? You can't remember. Fuck. But the belt, same thing.
Sorry, can I ask something? Everything else is rotten, but the belt, which you say is made of leather, right, is still completely intact, and that is unnatural, right? Leather, normal leather, would have been decayed along with everything else, along with the boots, which were also leather, and so on. So 100%. That immediately says that this is something potentially, there is some magic involved here, and we should take these two things.
All right. Who takes what?
I don't know. I recognize something about the double-headed serpent, so that's the thing that calls to me more. But I just feels more significant to me potentially. So I pulled that off the skeleton wrist of whoever was wearing.
If those items are wondrous, if they are, they will reveal their power on their own at some point. If you interact with them the right way, or they can do it on. Some of them are sentient, some of them are not. Very rare they're sentient. Yeah, I know only 2 items that are sentient in the lore, but it's not good that way now. But so either you interact with them the right way, or they manifest themselves on their own, or you ask a lore master during a fellow phase to do that for you. Right. Yeah.
But I'm looking at the healing Which of my companions is known for their healing, right? I think, is it you, Red Dog?
It's Red Dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is something to do with healing, and it may not be a common item. It's something something potentially, that has some power to it. And if this is true, then it will be something related to healing, and that's something you dedicate yourself to. So you should have this. I give it to Red Dog.
Okay.
Now that I look a bit more at it, given that my mother was like a healing wood woman, is there anything like vaguely familiar? Did my mother have anything
Oh,
similar?
nice.
Even remotely similar, I mean. That could.
Yeah, now it makes sense. Yes, some kind of forest druids, would have this symbol. Sometimes, they could have a talk with two serpents' head there, or runes of spirals that go on into themselves, or things like that, or a serpent that eats its own. It's something to do with healing, and yes, right now you can remember, because you asked the right question, that you saw druids or healers, hanging around this symbol.
Okay, so share.
Either you write very fast, or there is some information here. Oh, look, you shared this screen, right? That says wondrous items.
Oh, shit!
Oh, really?
I
Scout
didn't
belt.
know he's going to tell you the title. Oh no! Boo! Okay. Anyway, you
Yeah.
have the picture of the belt.
Okay.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
So the belt, voilà, that's how it looks.
Okay. I mean, I know it says it's meant for me, but I at the moment I just wouldn't know, right? Whoever picked it up then has it at the moment, and we'll see what if
So
eventually.
you put it.
Not me. I mean, I would have no reason to put it. I would just put it now because I saw the title on the next to the image, right? So
Fuck me!
I mean, I don't know.
I just wanted to share the picture, not the fucking title.
Yeah, I know. That's okay.
That's a typical like game mastering. It happens to me all the time. Every time I share something with my players, it's the same mistake for me.
Yeah. So I think what Arya would plan to do is to, when we next time we have some time to rest, I'll ask to take a better, closer look at these things, at both of these objects, to see if I can discover more about them. But at the moment, I don't know who picked the belt up. Who was it? I said I
You
would
did.
pick up the
You did.
bracelet, right? Which I gave to
You did.
Red Dog.
You did.
Can we assume that Targon picked it up?
The Targon
No,
is in no condition of picking up pretty much anything.
Come on, you were healed. You're fine. You're
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
I
super
think
fine.
I don't know. I can imagine that Ariel is having he's circumspect, but okay, but he's having a good feeling about that, because you just said it yourself, that you're confident that those are enchanted items, and
Yeah, okay. Items
there is,
not of normal craft, so they are something. So I guess I try to pick those up, have a look at the bracelet first, and then give it to Red Dog. Then pick up the belt, look at it. I don't know if I can infer something.
Doesn't look like elven made. The right the it, the belt. It doesn't look elven made. It doesn't. I don't know. Like it feels more earthy and robust than something.
Yeah,
elven made, you know.
more crude, more unstudied, unsophisticated,
Okay.
salt of the earth kind of thing. I would not say this aloud. But I would think it. So
Well, maybe it is elven made. I don't know.
and I honestly don't know. Now I don't know if I would think it was a normal thing to try it on. Maybe, right? Because if it's enchanted, then I think the normal thing, if we are not afraid of it, would be to try it on both the bracelet, to put it on the wrist,
Yeah,
and see
I
if
think-
something happens, and the belts. One of us would put it on around the waist and see if something happens. Maybe that's not forcing the issue just because I, as a player, know that there is something to them. I'm trying to avoid, metagaming, but
experimentation is, I guess to acquire knowledge. I don't know what's the logic behind.
that's my calling. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it's your calling. So there's this, and if you don't know as a player what your character would do, you can roll it. You can possibly roll wisdom.
Actually, I'll do that.
You can roll wisdom.
I will definitely look into the belt. I'll take it and carefully examine it. If that doesn't cause anything to happen, then I honestly don't know what I would do to. So let me roll.
Okay. Roll wisdom. If you pass, you have a good feeling about that, and you try it. If you don't pass, you put it in your backpack.
Sorry, roll what again?
Wisdom.
Wisdom. Wisdom. But wisdom is 1. Everything is 1. So this is going to be a disaster. No. 12. Nah, I mean, that's a very difficult roll with just
It's a good roll. It's a good roll.
It is. Is it?
All right. So you're still free to do what you want, but.
Okay, so I put it around my the belt around my own waist. See what happens.
It feels good. Nothing special happens.
At least you didn't die.
Does it look like a fragile object? Something that I would be afraid to, because I consider myself a sort of an archaeologist, right? So I wouldn't damage priceless artifacts.
It's supple and as sturdy as it could have ever been. It's as good as new.
Sorry, I didn't catch that. The skeleton. Oh.
You have lost.
It's the
I'm here.
Was human, male, female?
Human.
I mean, if it's male or female, it's easier to distinguish than, I don't know if it's easy to distinguish as a human from an elf skeleton.
No, he said it was human. That they were human.
The one that held the belt with the bow was a slender. The one that held the bracelet was buffier.
No, but I mean that for the trained eye, it's easy to distinguish a female skeleton from a male one because of the hips and stuff.
Okay, male. But I'm not sure you can make the difference between a human skeleton and an elven skeleton.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
I don't know how difficult that is. I mean, I've never seen an elf skeleton myself.
So if nothing happens, then I ask the others to try the belt, see if something happens.
Okay.
I mean,
sure.
since we are in this, I'm sure there's something to these things. They are special, but so I want to see if there's some immediately visible effect.
Okay. Everyone tries it, and no immediate visible effect.
Again, I really don't know. I feel. Yeah, I'll strap the belt around my waist and just keep wearing it. I don't know.
Your pants won't fall down, which is good. I mean,
what? Sorry, can you repeat that?
Your pants won't fall down. That is
But
good.
I mean,
My book.
It
now
just feel
I can't.
Ariel,
Yeah.
just let go. It just feel right.
Okay. If it feels right, then it feels right, and I wear it.
I appreciate Ariel's
Yeah.
scientific approach and like just systematic study of the thing. But for now, you can only trust your gut, and it just feels all right.
Good.
But your head doesn't know more, and
Good.
you have no superpower. As far as you know, you're not. You're the same.
Okay. Very good.
It's been a while. I think it's been more than 12 hours. 12 hours that you had taken this moment for of rest. This second room exit towards another tunnel. Those 3 skeletons are there. You cannot but realize how lucky truly the 3 of you are, because there were 3 of them too.
Yeah.
Three adventurers, and they fell in the same sewer, and they took a moment of rest, but it was their last moment of rest, their last rest. It was a one-way ticket for them, and they never saw the exit of the mountain, so you still have hope. Now, this second room exits through another tunnel yet, but this one much longer. You cannot see the end with your one torch at the moment. I guess you took a moment to eat the bit of food you had, double check your bandages and whatnot. A bit of cold
Aragon, how many
here and
fingers?
there.
How many fingers?
I before we left, I dedicate like at least a couple of words to the gods for the 3 adventurers that died here. Forgotten, completely forgotten. Nobody will know their names.
Impossible to know. Only through those 2 artifacts, maybe you can.
It's a bit sad, I think. I mean,
yeah.
They disappeared from the world. Would they have family? But I don't know. Just say a couple of words for them and move on.
Perfect. Love it.
Has our goal changed given our current plight? Or are we still looking for what was his name? I don't remember.
Dulin.
Yeah, I was looking for someone else probably. Yeah,
Uncle
Dulin.
Ben's.
We found 2 out of 3 dwarfs.
Yeah.
Actually, we found 2 dwarfs. We came here to find 2 dwarfs. We found 2 dwarfs. It's not the 2 dwarfs we needed to find. Just one of them. The other was a bonus. But yeah, we could still try to find Dulin.
Mm-hmm. Just wanted to.
Do we know where we are in relation to the map?
Yeah,
we
exactly.
have?
Yes.
Good question. Things are looking good. This sliding down this sewer took you possibly 1 or 2 levels down, and you knew already that you were to find some kind of stairway, and that runs down a couple more levels and before reaching the dungeon. From what you can make of the map, this sewer wasn't on the map. Anyway, it's still and it's even more and more difficult to make use of the map at this point. What you're looking for is a strike of luck, and to find yourself on this famous stairway. But from what you can infer is that you're getting very close, and you're somewhere in the vicinity of this staircase.
Okay, if I sense that, because I was the one keeping a map of it, if I remember. So I am okay. Take heart. We are close to our goal. Now we don't know if we'll be able to achieve the. I mean, let's see, there may be other obstacles in the way, but we are close to it. So
let's press on.
right, so
Another
let's keep
series of
going.
dark tunnels. Yeah. Sloping down, sometimes taking a couple of steps, reaching a room, looking for, you're having this sense of being deep in the heart of the mountain, lower and lower. And Ariel, you definitely have some kind of the feeling that suddenly you know where the north, you can feel the north. Something that you had not before. You a sensation that you had lost upon entering the fortress, but now it's back.
Okay.
And you guys go following those corridors. It's getting a lot wetter and murkier, and the air becomes rarer. It becomes difficult to breathe, sort of, and it's the air is stiff and packed with humidity, and water rustle down. The walls, and your steps, make noise as you stamp, and it goes slack, slack, slack. And yeah, this is the overall atmosphere. But at some point, you guys, you're pretty sure you made it to this particular stairway you're looking for, because so you have those 2 meter wide, 2 meter 50 wide stairs that goes down and up in a spiral, and it echoes pretty far down and up. So you go down. There are exits, just like in a staircase. You have 1, 2 levels, and on the 3rd level, you have a feeling, Ariel, that this is the one.
Okay. Am I aware that this feeling I have is something different and strange that I?
No.
It's just the way I normally do. I work out where we are based on the map and what I was doing before.
Yeah. It's the same sort of computation you're doing, and but somehow you manage to have a good sense of orientation at this point.
Mm-hmm.
The stairway exits into a corridor leading up to an archway that opens suddenly onto a massive, high vaulted hall. Just too large to see the opposite walls, either to the left or to the right or opposite of you. A long space, wide space, plunged in darkness. You have huge and towering columns that juts upward to an invisible ceiling. The ceiling is too high. The columns are just lost in darkness as they fade out, going up. You hear the sound of water overall as you came down the The stairs was ever and ever more present, and now you have this rustling sound of dripping water running into in unseen gullies, echoing from afar. Have this watery sensation in this place. The air is dank, murky, and atop, towards the top of the vault, you see that the air is drizzled in places with some kind of unreal twilight beamed down from thin shafts high up in unseen corner of the vault. You have those beams of light, like, and the light goes. Now let me take you to a new place, my good people, my good folks. Voila, this is the new scene. You've entered said haunted dungeon. Voila, it's a moment.
This is the haunted dungeon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's take 5, reconvene,
Okay.
and explore this new place. Thank you.
Okay.
So, your torch doesn't pierce very far in there, but still, you can make out for, you know, this the scale of the hole. Like, it's massive, it's immense. Vaulted somehow you can somehow maybe guess there are, you know, those columns ends in the vault, you know, attached to a ceiling, and it's vaulted somewhere, and you have those shafts, and the light is dim and beams down. It's echoey in there. Every little sound goes like shh. And somehow the floor is dotted, if not littered, with scattered bones and carcasses, corroded chains, cages occupied by dry bones and shattered skeletons. And as you progress, 3 little silhouettes, you know, 3 little shapes, a single torch in the middle of this vast space. How do you proceed? Do you call out? do you go quiet? Do you
Is there some
go
clear
loud?
structure, some place that seems more important than others? Some place where all those columns are guiding to? I mean,
Not really. I'm sorry.
Is there light besides our torch?
Just the
beams.
faint beams of light that scatters in the murky air and spill in this kind of foggy green environment, you know.
Would be able to see without the torch, because I mean the torch makes us like clearly visible. If anybody else is here.
You would be in nearly in darkness without the torches. You would see shapes. You would see the actual shapes of things around you, but you could not make out details in the. Anyway, it doesn't change really. It wouldn't change really much concerning the things in the distance. But close by, you're always trying to avoid walking on a rusty chain, a pile of bones, and without a torch, it would be difficult.
Okay, let's hope nobody else is in this room, this big cavern, or they would see us right away.
Yeah, because we are the only source of light other than yeah.
So you advance.
Well,
You
yes.
look for Dulin.
Yeah.
There are silhouettes here and there, lying on the floor, scattered, dispersed in pieces. There are younger, if I can say, younger corpses leaning on the columns, attached to chains.
Question,
And
sorry.
yeah.
The book of the first dwarf, the first dead dwarf we met, implied he had found Dulin, right?
No, it was
In
wasn't it?
the haunted dungeon, he found Dulin, and he had to escape. He couldn't have. He didn't have the time to free him before the evil in the shadow chased him away.
So he found Dulin here.
Evil in the shadow sounds concerning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
but
I
thing
guess
is,
if his place is haunted, somebody is haunting it. So
Yeah, but people say those things.
I don't know if we could find some track of what was the name of the first dwarf, to not call him the first dwarf all the time. Oi. I don't know if we could find some track or some way to retrace his steps in this huge cavern. If he left some note and like Dulin is hanged there, you know.
On the map, the dungeon is just like a 1 by 1 centimeter square with a red cross in it. You know, it's just a checkpoint. You know?
But no tracks then.
At this point, at this moment, this very moment, the three of you clearly hears a laughter.
Works too.
How close? How far?
30 meters far in the in the deep of this hole, like somewhere two-thirds of the total distance from the place where you arrived, you entered. You can see that there are somehow, if you want an estimate, the hole you can possibly be I don't know, between 60 and 70 meters wide. You know, it's pretty big.
Yeah, but can we see
and
who is
comes 20 meters away. You see a silhouette, and it's leaning against one of those massive columns, and the laughter comes from there.
Okay, I hold my spear in a sort of ahead of me in a defensive position, and
Now you
I
hear a
tell,
song.
okay,
Sure.
reveal yourself. Who's there? Clearly, we have been spotted. Is it a dwarfish mad song or a human mad song?
It's a mad song.
Okay, maybe I signal to the others to let's get closer. We have nothing else to go by here. We have to.
You
This may be
approach.
the person we look for.
You see a dwarf. Sure enough. Surprise,
Right.
surprise. Leaning pitifully on the rocks, on this stone column, ornated with, carved ancient dwarven runes and dwarven scenes, like friezes of, battles and old kings and the like, jutting up. And the dwarf has a long, long beard, white. His hair are just, it's just a folly, just a madness hair. And he's dressed in rags, shaggy as it can be. Skeletish, really like just this kind of trembling, feverish, weak body. And as you approach, you can see, and as he mumbles his song, that both of his eyes have been burnt, and he's blind.
I forget what his name was. What the name of the second dwarf was? Dulin. No, not Dulin.
Dulin is this one.
Dulin.
So I call so I call his name. Is that you, Dulin? We are here to help you.
The seed.
What seed? Dulin, we are here to help. What seed? What are you talking about?
The nameless. Who goes there?
We are
three.
We are friends of Balin. We are friends of a friend of
Balin, my brother.
Do you remember Balin, Dulin?
Oh, I can see you, Balin, come, my brother. Yes, I remember you.
We have come to rescue you.
Me too, I have the answer to your problem.
Balin, push away against the shadows that inhabit your mind. Is he tied to the
He's tied like that. To chains, yeah.
I will release you. We'll release you from your chains now. Hold still. I mean, is there some simple way to do it? Can we